हॅलो दोतोर, हे कारवेन आज हो आमचो उत्तरार्ध म्हणजे सेकंड हाफ आणि म्हजे बरोबर आसात डॉक्टर दीपक मूर्ती ENT स्पेशलिस्ट म्हणजे कान नाक आणि ताळो हाचे तज्ञ दोतोर. तुमच्यांनी आमकां प्रश्न विचारूं येतात 24904444 आणि 24904445 ह्या नंबराचेर. प्रश्न विचारतना तुमच्या घरा कडल्या टीव्हीचो आवाज मातसो कमी करात आणि प्रश्न विचारूं येता तुमच्यान आतां खंयच्याय वयाचे आसूं म्हणजे ल्हान भुरग्यां पासून जाणट्या पर्यंत जे प्रॉब्लेम आसात ते तुमच्यान आमकां विचारूं येतात. डॉक्टर, आय वूड लायक टू आस्क यू वन व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन. Now, a lot of things have been asked about ear. What is but one of the common this thing is that septal defects or septal deviations and maybe anatomically aesthetic sense of nose is lost somewhere sometime. So, I want you to address this issue.
We'll start by thinking, why do we have a nose?
Yes.
See, every part of the body has a function.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but when you breathe, by the time you take a breath and the air goes from here and comes here,
Yeah.
the air is absolutely sterile, which means there is no bacteria, no viruses, no dust, no diesel fumes, no pollutants. Absolutely sterile. The nose is an amazing air conditioner.
Oh.
But suppose you're in let's say in Canada at minus 40 degrees centigrade,
Yeah.
or you're in Mumbai at plus 40 degrees centigrade,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
By the time air reaches here, it's at body temperature. Otherwise, minus 40 degrees air, when you inhale it, your lungs are going to freeze and crack.
I see.
Yes. So, in that short duration of time and space,
Yeah.
the nose has to warm that air into the correct temperature. It has to absolutely clean that air,
Yeah.
right? And it has to have it humidified correctly,
Correct.
right? So, the nose does these three functions, and remarkably well. It does not stop breathing. At all times, one nostril will be blocked. It will keep alternating. It's called the nasal cycle. A lot of people feel that both nostrils should be running very well, but no. There must be a resistance to airflow. Only then can the air be processed before it goes into the lung.
Oh.
Yes. So, we must understand that one nostril is blocked, it keeps alternating, and there must be a resistance to airflow. When you take a breath, there must be a resistance there.
I see.
Right. The last, of course, is aesthetics. We like to have a perfect nose. You can do anything in the face, but you can't change the nose. You can have, you need not even operate on your lips or your eyes, you know, but the nose is one structure. If you don't have it perfectly right, your face will not look good. The size of the nose is equal to the size of the lips, is equal to the size of the eyebrows, is equal to the size of the ear,
Oh, I
is equal to the
see.
size of the thumb.
I see.
These aesthetics have to be maintained.
Oh.
And of course, when you have glasses, you need the nose also. Yes.
Okay, so doctor, now I'll ask you another question. How to take care of this nose? Because first of all, we never realize that so many functions are important functions. The nose is a very means a organ which takes active part in this,
Absolutely.
as you have mentioned. Because
Absolutely.
we feel okay. We always say that there is nakaragasa, means there is a anger on the tip of your
Yes,
nose.
yes,
That's what we often
yes,
say.
yes.
So how to take care?
The nose also, through the sinuses,
Yeah.
secretes about a few liters of mucus a day. This mucus comes from the sinuses, which are placed here, into the nose, and this mucus traps dust, bacteria, and then you swallow the mucus, so it goes into the stomach. If there are nasal infections, you must handle it early, because these sinus infections normally go unnoticed, but sometimes can cause complications.
I see.
Sinuses are close to vital structures, that is the eyes and the brain. So, especially in diabetics, in uncontrolled diabetics, sinus infections can have major side effects.
Achha.
That's one. The nose is also linked to the ear. So, if you have sinus infections, especially in children, through the tube which connects the nose to the ear, that infection can go to the ear and cause severe ear pain and sometimes deafness also.
Oh.
So, if there is a nasal problem which is persistent, normally nasal problems will go away in the next few days once you have a bad cold, or you go to your local doctor and it gets all right. But if it's persistent, then they must go to the local ENT doctor closest and get it checked out. He will probably do an endoscopy. These days we do endoscopies, or he will take an X-ray and he will check it out. But they should not ignore nasal disease.
Correct. Means that proper attention should be given to
Absolutely.
any of the nasal problems.
Absolutely.
Doctor, I think that we have got a question. Hello.
हॅलो
हाँ.
हां परवरच्यान उलयतां डॉक्टर.
हाँ, विचारात.
सगळ्यान पयलीं तुमकां हांव देव बरें करूं म्हणटा, कित्याक तुमी बुधवारा नवे नवे दाखयता डॉक्टरांनी, म्हणजे आमकां नवी नवी म्हायती मेळटा तुमच्या बद्दल.
तुमच्या सारख्या लोकांनी ती पळयत रावची ही आमची इच्छा असता.
आनी सगळ्या विशयांचे आमकां जाका खबर नासले ते आनीक म्हायती मेळटा आमकां. आणि माझा प्रश्न हा डॉक्टर एक म्हणजे घोऱ्यापासून आणि हेजेर कितें कनेक्शन आसा ताळ्याचे म्हणजे रातचे लोक न्हिदताना घोर येता न्हू व्हडले व्हडले ते आनी म्हणजे गळ्याचो कितें प्रॉब्लेम आसता
म्हणजे गळ्याचो
म्हणजे घोर येता न्ही ते खूप
okay. Again, we are back to the snoring.
Yes.
She is asking what is the correlation between snoring and any problems of the throat?
When people have snoring, most people snore, as I said earlier,
Yeah.
men and women, probably men more than women. Most often, it is the palate, the free edge of the palate, which is vibrating, or the pharynx becomes very patulous, and that vibrates. Snoring by itself is not a disease.
Achha.
But when there is a respiratory problem, which means the nose is blocked and you're breathing through the mouth and snoring, that has to be addressed. That has to be addressed.
This is okay. One more thing, Dr. Ayman said, these days we are reading some articles in the paper that some devices are available in the market. Especially they are available on counter.
Yes.
Are these devices helpful, first of all? And second, my question is, are these devices safe?
Yes. When I talk of snoring, there are two types of snoring.
Yeah.
One is regular snoring in which the person sleeps well, he wakes up in the morning and he feels fresh. In people who have snoring which is associated with disease, that is they have obstructive airways disease or we call it a sleep apnea syndrome, in such people in the daytime also they'll have somnolence, which means they'll feel sleepy. When they wake up in the morning, they will never feel rested. Sometimes when they're reading the newspaper itself, they'll fall asleep all over again. Right? And such people have to be checked out well.
Yeah. Even doctor, I am having that habit of sleeping in the bus, so I don't know whether
Sleeping in the bus may not be, but if you're feeling fresh in the morning and you feel well rested, it may not be a disorder.
Okay.
But for people who are having daytime somnolence, forgetfulness, associated with diabetes, obesity, it's good to have a sleep study done.
Achha, okay. Doctor, I think we have got a question. Hello. Hello.
हॅलो डॉक्टर म्हाका हॅलो
विचारात.
हांव वास्कोतल्यान उलयतां.
विचार.
म्हजो चलो 24 वर्सांचो आसा आनी ताका कितें जाता चारांक किंवा 5 अशें एकदम शिको येत रावता आनी येताना एकदम 20, 22, 25 अशें सुद्दां येता.
सकाळच्या 4 काय रातच्या 4? सकाळच्या.
म्हणटकच तो सारको घर येताय बी.
नाही फातोडच्या 4 म्हणता काय? 4
हय फातोड्या 4 येता.
फातोडच्या 4 शिकवपाक सुरू जाता.
हय 4, 5.
ओके.
कमी जाता आनी येतानाच ताका कितलेशेच येता सारके 25, 26 अशें सुद्दां येतात आनी ते थांबनात आनी सामको मागीर जाम जाल्ल्या भशेन जाता.
अच्छा, कितें करता तो?
आनी दुसरो प्रश्न म्हणजे कितें
तो कितें करता?
सर्विसेक वता.
अच्छा.
सर्विसेक वता.
कसले जॉब कितें ताचो?
पुलीस.
अच्छा, बरें. आनी दुसरो प्रश्न?
आनी दुसरो प्रश्न म्हणजे म्हजो असो की न्हिदलो म्हणटकच तो न्ही घर येता. तो सारको असो घर येता आनी मागीर म्हणजे एक सुस्तेल्ल्या भशेन जाता ताका.
हय, ते डॉक्टरान म्हाका सांगता.
नायटीक बी उरता न्ही.
हय, ते डॉक्टरान तुमचो घोऱ्याच्या विशयी जो प्रश्न तो सांगला की तुम्ही योग्य इव्हॅल्युएशन करून घेयात. इट इज बेटर. ताचे वेगवेगळे इंडिकेशन आसता, केन्ना केन्ना अशी काय दुयेंसां आसता जी ते प्रॉपर ताचें इव्हॅल्युएशन केलें जाल्यार कळटली आनी योग्य ट्रिटमेंट घेतल्यार तो बरोय जातलो. I think about the sneezing part you can.
It sounds like allergic rhinitis. She gets sneezing early in the morning, sneezes 25-30 times, and then as the day goes by she feels better. It's a good idea to get an X-ray done because sometimes it could also be because of septal defect, which is it is touching at one point and triggering a sneeze, or could be an allergy also.
अच्छा. डॉक्टर म्हणटा ते एक वेळ एलर्जी असू शकता. तुम्ही ENT डॉक्टराकडे वचून त्याचे प्रॉपर इव्हॅल्युएशन करून घ्यात. ताचो एक वेळ एक्सरे काडचो पडत किंवा बाकीचे जे इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन आसा तातूंतल्यान कळटलें की ताका नक्की कित्या खातीर ते शिको येतात. ताका एलर्जीक लागून येतात काय आनी खंयच्या कारणाक लागून. आनी अशें सिवियर अशें म्हणजे लायफ थ्रेटनिंग अशें दिसना, पण योग्य वेळार योग्य जर ताजें ट्रिटमेंट घेतली जाल्यार डेफिनेटली तो बरो जावंक शकता. डॉक्टर, वी हॅव गॉट अनदर क्वेश्चन. हॅलो.
हॅलो.
हां
हांव दिनार खंवटे उलयतां पणजेसून.
दिनार बाब प्रश्न विचारात.
म्हजो दावो कान गडप जाता. दावो कान म्हणजे उजव्या कानान आयकूंक बी बरें येना दाव्या कानान. बाकी काय प्रॉब्लेम नाही.
अच्छा, पिराय कितें, एज कितें?
55 कंप्लीट.
55 कंप्लीट. प्रोफेशन कितें तुमचं?
सेल्स लाईन. सेल्स लाईनीन आसता.
अच्छा.
Since how long is not hearing?
केन्नाच्यान जाला तुमकां?
जालें 2-3 वर्सां माहीत जातले.
अच्छा.
It's a good idea for him to have an audiogram done. and the audiogram will tell us if this loss of hearing is because of of a disease in the eardrum or in the inner ear. It's a good idea to get an audiogram done. He's only 55, he has many years ahead.
Correct.
He has to hear correctly.
And since he is from the sales line, he
has to hear
his
well.
proper hearing is important for
Yes.
this profession.
Also for someone who's 55 and who is probably driving and walking on the road, if he does not hear correctly,
Correct.
he will not have a sense of direction.
Correct, correct.
The primary function of the ear is balance. Both the ears have to hear correctly, and then they give inputs to the brain, so you have a sense of orientation in space, and it helps you to balance. The secondary function is hearing. So he must get this checked out. He is young, he is 55.
Yeah. Doctor, I think we have got another question. Hello.
Hello.
Ha.
Hello, Dotor.
Ha, विचारात.
Hello.
हा विचारात.
Dotor, हांव सचिन पाटील साखळेसून उलयतां.
हा विचारात.
रिगार्डिंग म्हाजी एक फ्रेंडाची चली आहा, तेका हाली रिसेंटली आयकूंक येतालें आनी तेजो एक वर्स 2 म्हयने सुमार जाल्ले आनी आतां प्रॉब्लम कितें जाला, तेका जोर येयलो सर आनी तेज्या उपरांत तेका आयकपाचेंच बंद जालें.
ह्या भुरग्याची पिराय कितली?
1 वर्स 2 म्हयने.
1 वर्ष 2 महिने. अच्छा.
हय हय.
आणि केन्नाच्यान आयकुपाचें बंद जालें?
तेका आतां हालींच आमी नोटीस केला, एक म्हयनोभर जालें नोटीस केला. तेका लागून आमी डॉक्टराक बी वचून पळोवन येयले. दोतोर एक्झॅक्ट कितें जालां तें सांगूंक शकना.
Is the child
आनी
speaking?
ऑडिओलॉजिस्टाकूय दाखयले, बेर टेस्ट म्हणटा, बेरा टेस्ट म्हणटा पळय, तेय बी केल्लेली. आनी तेज्या उपरांत ते म्हणटा कितें तेका तें मशीन बसोवचें पडटलें म्हणटा. आनी इज इट तेका जोराक लागून तशें जावं शकता दोतोर?
Yes.
काय तेजो आनी कितें प्रॉब्लम आसतलो? जावं नॉर्मली तेका अशें नॅचरली तेका परत 1-2 म्हयन्यान बी आयकूंक येवपाचे चान्सेस बी कितें आसा?
Okay, let me answer this. This child has a loss of hearing which came in a month ago. The child is 1.5 years old.
Yeah.
I had said earlier that if you have a bad cold, high grade fever, you can lose your hearing also. Now what I need to know is this child talking or not? Is the child speaking?
No.
Child is not speaking at all.
Not speaking at all.
He does not even say basic words.
Basic mean mama and all this, she says.
Okay. The BERA has shown that the hearing is bad, and that's why your doctor has told you to put on hearing aids. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Now, the right thing is to show the BERA report to a qualified ENT surgeon. The ENT surgeon will decide whether actually the hearing aid is required or not, and he will make sure that the hearing aid will benefit the child. Most hearing aids work along with audiologists, and the hearing test and the BERA test will tell us whether the hearing loss is reversible or irreversible. If your audiologist and the ENT doctor have said that a hearing aid has to be used, it basically means that the hearing loss is irreversible, which means that with medicines it may not improve presently. But you must realize a hearing aid is like a pair of glasses. It helps. It helps the child to hear. If the child hears normally, the child will speak normally.
Correct.
There are newer advancements coming every year. There are newer drugs coming in every year. And if the child is hearing normally, you are supporting the hearing with a hearing aid, and the child is speaking normally, there is every hope that in the future, with newer drugs, the child will be better. But for the moment, the hearing has to be conserved.
म्हाका तुमकां कळ्ळें आसतलेंच की डॉक्टर सांगता की जर ताका सांगला जाल्यार ताका ती हियरिंग एड वापरचें पडटलें आनी ताचो जो दुसरो तज्ञ दोतोर आसा ताच्या संपर्कान रावन योग्य त्या मार्गदर्शनान यू हॅव टू गो हेड. डेफिनेटली देर इज अ रे ऑफ होप, कारण नवे नवे मेडिसीन येतात, नवी नवी वखदां येतात आणि नवे नवे इवन सर्जिकल करेक्शन. डॉक्टर, जस्ट आय वॉन्ट टू हॅव आस्क यू वन क्वेश्चन. वॉट इज एक्चुअली अफेक्टेड इन दिस? म्हणजे सपोज नाव इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द हियरिंग पार्ट, लायक which is the area which is getting involved in this?
Since I understand that they have done a test called a BERA. BERA is a brainstem evoked response audiometry, in which we sedate the child and then we give stimulus to the ear and we track